Hello there. This is maybe you've heard this before. My name is John Forrester, and I talk about change and growth and removing yourself from negative situations or doing what you want with your life. And sometimes, when you do what you want, people are going to judge you, and people are going to say things, and they're going to be like, well, why would you do that? What gives you the right to do that? How come you get to do that and I don't? Well, that's the beauty of this whole thing, is you get to do that as well. You can do whatever you want to do. Anything that you want to do is accessible to do. Now, let's be fair. You're not going to go be an NBA superstar, because if you're 45 years old, you can't, one, you're not fast enough. Two, you're not in good enough shape. Three, you don't have the skills. You're unable to gain the skills to be good at, to be an NBA superstar. You can go be better at basketball. Let's be honest. You can go and be better at basketball. You can go and be better at football. You can go and be better, but you're not going to be Tom Brady. Not today. Not unless you're like 9, or it's not possible, because those kids that are good at the pros are looking at everyone, because we're in the golden age of the digital bullshit. We can see everybody. You're not going to have something like that Dennis Quaid movie, what was it, The Rookie, where he was like a 44-year-old baseball pitcher. That's probably not going to happen today. Maybe. I'm not saying you can't do that, but you would have to have the prerequisite skills. You're not going to go out and try to pitch a baseball at 47 years old to be a pro. I'm sorry. You need the 10 years of space. Maybe 25. Maybe you could do that, like that kid that taught himself how to kick on Hawaii and then became an amazing kicker. You are capable of doing anything. Let's just be fair here. I'm not going to tell you what you can't do. You can do whatever you want. Whatever you want to do, you can do. Instead of doing what you want to do, you go and you beat yourself up. And you act like, oh my God, the neighbors are going to... The neighbors are miserable. The people that are judging you are miserable. They're upset because they can't do the stuff that you're doing. They're upset because they want to go out of their way to make your life miserable, because their life is miserable, because they're unhappy, because they don't like themselves. And that's it. That's the joy of being alive, is you can like yourself, no matter what anyone says to you, no matter how much fun somebody makes you. And maybe a lot of the time people are just, joking around, but a lot of the time they're being mean because they're mean. People are mean because of their internal landscape. They're not mean because of you. They're not mean because you don't know what you're doing, or because you're a loser, or because whatever they said to you. Whatever people say to you is what people are going to say to you. And that has everything to do with them and nothing to do with you. Yeah, people are going to make fun of you, and that's okay, because they respect you, or whatever it is. But some people are genuinely assholes, genuinely mean to people, because they're miserable. And those people are never going to figure it out. And they're going to be miserable their entire lives, for their entire existence, because they don't want to change. And that's it. That's the end of the story. Is if you want to change, you'll change. If you want to be angry and pissed off and miserable and upset and all of those things, you can be that. You can be all of those things. You don't have to be happy. You don't have to be joyful. You don't have to be any of those things. But life gets way easier when you start to become joyful, and you start to realize that you are the cause of your own suffering, and that nobody else is responsible for you. So what would make you happy? Is it getting a divorce? Is it moving towns? Is it finding a different career? Is it any of those things? Whatever you want to do, you can do. You don't have to keep going through your life being miserable, because you are capable of so much more than you're giving yourself credit for. And we run around and act like we don't have the ability to change. Because, well, what's going to happen if, let's just say for argument's sake, you want to cut your alcoholic daughter off. Let's just say, right? Right? And we can beat ourselves up. Well, what about my daughter's never going to talk to me again? But is the current relationship good? Is it good where she's borrowing money from you and getting drunk and being a lunatic and coming to your house at 2 o'clock in the morning? Or would it be better to not have to give her any more money and say, look, I can't do this anymore for you. There's some boundaries here. Boundaries are going to be this. I'm not going to give you money. I'm not going to give you a place to stay until you get sober. You want to get sober? Go get sober. Getting sober is it's hard. It's really hard to get sober, but it's also really easy if you make the choice. I don't want to drink anymore is okay. Well, I'm going to lose all my friends. You'll find new friends. You'll find other people to relax with. You'll find other people to be around. You'll find other people that want to be in your company. Drinking isn't solving anything because you are drinking yourself to death. And or she is drinking herself to death, not you per se. Maybe somebody is drinking themselves to death. I don't know. But that's a choice, right? Everything is a choice. You have a choice every minute of the day. You have a choice to be happy. You have a choice to be angry. You have a choice to be sad. You have a choice, as they say, whoever that was, I think it was like Marcus Aurelius or something, I don't even know. Between stimulus and response, you have a choice. And that's very true. And some of us just make that choice without even thinking. We just do it. We're just like, I'm going to get angry. Well, how's that working out for you? And how did it work out for the person that showed you that? Making somebody feel like they're less than you didn't work for the person who did it to you. And it's definitely not going to work for you because you are treating people like shit. And you don't need to treat people like shit. You need to treat people like they're important. Even if they are assholes, even if they suck, give them the grace and and just treat them well. Because at the end of the day, when they put their shit onto you, they are miserable inside. And maybe if you show them that there's a different way, maybe they'll be at peace. Maybe they won't. Maybe it's impossible for them to change, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't have anything to do with you. That has to do with them and their inner landscape and where they are and how much self-doubt and trauma and all that other stuff that they inflicted onto themselves and how much they are incredibly miserable with themselves. Because at the end of the day, if we stop being miserable and we start finding the joy, we will have a better world. Because our inner world is making up our outer world. And because so many people are angry and pissed off and irritated and mad and just angry, just fucking angry at everything. Like, what are you angry at? I don't even know. My kid isn't working hard enough. Well, he's working as hard as he can. That's what it is. They're giving you all they can. They're tiny humans. Let's cut them some slack. Let's try cutting people around. Let's try cutting ourselves some slack. And then we can try cutting the people around us some slack. Because a lot of us are walking around like we aren't enough. Who aren't you enough for? Who showed you that? I'll argue that it was your parents who weren't enough for themselves. And if they're still here, you can ask them about it. Like, hey, Dad, why were you so angry? Why are you so angry, Dad? What are you so mad about, Mom? Mom, what are you so pissed off about? And most of the time, it's because they haven't dealt with their bullshit from their past. They haven't dealt with their past. And that's difficult because not everybody's going to want to deal with their past. And that's a shame. But it's not up to you. What's up to you is dealing with your past. And when you deal with your past and you start putting yourself out there, you will be surprised at how wonderful the world is. You will be surprised at how insane you feel. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that crap. Have a great day.